and welcome to my colour, coffee and chat. A casual morning of colouring, chatting, answering a couple of questions that I've had. And unfortunately this isn't a coffee, I've already had my coffee this morning, but this is a nice cup of tea. Maybe too strong for some, but I like it strong, so I'll put this aside for now as it is really hot and I can't drink it just yet. The book that I am working in at the moment is Garden of Fairytale Animals by Kanoko Egusa, and this is a whip at the moment. It's a double spread page whip, so it's going to take me longer than a month to do, I should imagine. I have already placed 2 sheets under each page so that there's no sort of transfer of markings onto the other one, just to protect the other pages. I also have here all the colour combinations that I have used so far, so I'll be using some of those today because I'll be hopefully finishing off these leaves with you and these leaves on the vine. So we'll pop that to one side as well. Okay, here in England at the moment it is a really dark and miserable day. I have had to put a couple of lights on and hopefully there's not too much of a glare or too much of a shadow and you can see okay. But we shall give this a go. I didn't know whether I was going to get much colouring in today because of the weather, because to be honest with you, I really prefer natural light. I think a lot of you probably will. I've got a daylight here which you can turn up and down, but sometimes when I do my filming it makes the page too bright. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Like I say, it's not a colour along at all. It's just a casual colour. We'll chat, get to know me a bit. I'll answer a few questions and then see how we go on from there. I will be using Brute Funa squares because that's what I've been using so far. So I shall get out the colours that I need. So the weather has actually been horrible. There's been a lot of flooding going on in the towns close to me. It's just really wet and dark. Well, the clocks go back soon as well, so that's when it will start to we'll really see a difference in the weather. I know that some people in America have still got it really hot, and so I'm getting out the browns for the leaves now. Yeah, they're getting still really hot weather and they're wanting it to be a bit cooler. Yeah, I'm not quite ready for it to be cold yet. No, we don't really get a lot of warm weather in the UK. It's getting better over the years because of global warming, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing really. And what you can hear there is my tin, because I've got all my Brute Funas in this nice tin. And they come in 3 trays. You might have seen the tray when I just get them out there. Ooh, that's an update on the weather. I shall start with these leaves here, I think, just because there's less of those and I've already got some sort of based here, so I will carry on with that. I'm working part-time now, so I was working full-time. I took about a year off just to recover from some mental health. I won't go into details, but now I'm back at work and part-time. I know a lot of people use colouring, and I mean has helped me a lot for my mental health. I colour every day really, and I do miss it if I don't colour. I don't get a lot of time at the weekends now because I'm working, but it's nice and quiet where I live, so during the week I get a good majority of my colouring done, which I absolutely love. Yeah, so I am literally just sort of the first layer of these leaves I'm doing in this Brute Funa square, so these ones I'm lucky to have named on. This one's called Koi. So I'm literally I'm just basing these leaves in this colour. Like I said, this was the first video of me colouring, and I don't know how successful it's going to be. I've seen other people, loads of other YouTubers doing this, and people do like it when they do colour alongs. I mean, the most popular video of the month is the completed pages. Everyone loves to see completed pages, and I love showing everyone my work. I think it just brings the community together as well, just to be able to sort of show off your achievement. I am still new, so I have been colouring for a couple of years. However, the adult books that I have got really started on my birthday in May, and then I started this YouTube channel in July. So I am I'm still like a newbie, but I have got a lot of confidence and a lot of inspiration from other YouTubers. So the YouTuber, my all-time favourite YouTuber is, I think it's called Shell's. I will link all these people that I mention in the comments below, but Shell's Colouring Journey. Sorry, I don't know if you can actually see that because I was covering up. Yeah, Shell's Colouring Journey. I think it's 2020, and I love watching her. Her artwork is amazing. If I can have artwork half as good as hers, I will be happy. I'm trying not to do too heavy a layer on here because I want to go over with other colours for these leaves. So it's just a sort of a base. Who else do I like? I like Jess from Colouring Bumblebee off of YouTube. She's recently started. I think she's been about 6 months, so she's not as new as me, but she's doing well. Geordie Colours. In September I've done a buddy colour with Jess, which you'll see in my completed pages, and Geordie from Geordie Colours. I'm doing one in October. we're actually doing this one together. Coincidentally, it's in the same book, but yeah, all these pumpkins will be just amazing to do. And who else? A Pictured Purpose, Kira. She's from Australia. She's been going a couple of months, but she's doing really well. It's just really having the confidence to do these sort of videos, to share my colouring. Like I say, this isn't a colour along, it's just a colour and a casual chat. And I don't know how, obviously you'll have to let me know if you'd like to see me do this again, but depending on how popular it is. I have shown this page a couple of times in my work in progress Wednesdays, so Whip Wednesdays. Getting a bit of a, oh, I think it's from that post-it note, getting a line there from the post-it note. What else is there to tell you? Oh yeah, so I mean, I'll leave all these people that I've mentioned in the comments below, so check out their YouTubes. But everything that I've kind of picked up would have been from watching YouTube videos, from researching from what pencils I would like to get, to, you know, good erasers, a good sharpener, which I have mentioned all of that in my top 5 supplies. Then obviously you get inspiration to start using different mediums. So you can use gel pens, watercolours, paint pens, stickers, washi tape. There's a whole load of stuff out there. And yeah, I mean, just adding to a page, like, I just thought, oh, it's just like, you know, coloured pencils, felt tip pens, that's it. But you can add sparkle, you can add highlight to a page. I have some watercolours. I have used them once, and when I do use them again on a page, I will record it to show you how I use them. And that just sort of gives it like an iridescent look, the ones that I've got, because I've got I think it's the Karataki Opal paints. So they look quite clear, but then when you get them in the light, they've got that kind of shimmer on them. So the reason I got them was to do like bees wings and butterfly wings and stuff like that. So that will be a lot of fun, but obviously as we're coming up for autumn and the full pictures, there's less of those images to colour. I don't know when I'll record that video and put that up. Yes, I do like to stick with the seasons. I know there are a lot of people that are season colorists. To be colouring a sort of, an Easter egg in winter, I don't know, it just feels weird to me. Yeah, so someone asked how I get my sort of motivation to keep colouring. I make a list of all the certainly now I make a list of all the pages I'd like to colour for the month. That includes my body colours for the month, and I tend to have 2 or 3 a month. It means for me that I get a page done, which I wouldn't necessarily have picked myself, especially if the other person's picking it for me. Yeah, I make a list. That's how I keep my motivation going. I enjoy it. I don't colour when I don't feel like it, because I there's no point in just forcing myself. Lucky enough, I don't think I've had a colouring slum just yet. When my mental health has got bad, I do shy away from it because I don't feel like doing anything. But lucky enough for me at the moment, I haven't had that for, say, longer than a day. When I'm away from my colouring books, I miss them, which is probably quite sad for some people. But I hope you all agree in the colouring community that yeah, this is my sort of safe place. I feel happy here. I feel, not connected with the books, but it keeps my mind from wandering. When I'm colouring, I'm thinking about different colours I'm going to be using, different shading I'm going to be using, highlights. And that comes on to the other question of how I choose my colours. To be honest with you, most of the time I will just choose as I go. Like sometimes I can look at a page and be like, right, I really want to colour it these colours, and then I will maybe pick a colour palette out. So you'll see in my September completed pages that I have actually used a colour palette. That's because I knew kind of what I wanted to do on that page, but most of the time I don't know until I'm actually doing it what I want to do. If I've got a vision, then I will maybe find a colour palette or go on Pinterest and get some ideas. That's also if I'm stuck and I want some ideas as well. I will get an idea and be like, oh, I can do this or I could do that, and then I will find the combinations myself. Another good way of me finding colour combinations is from a YouTuber called Pamela, and she's on Pamela's Passion for Pencils. She does, so I've got Brute Funa Squares, and she does a YouTube video about all the colour combinations for these pencils, and I have written down the ones that I liked and I enjoyed. I've got those to hand if I need to. Also, she has a Facebook, which in the album section there's Brute Funa square combinations as well, so sometimes I use those. Sort of as I'm getting used to these pencils and the colours, I am finding my own combinations. Also, if say I do a competition or a buddy colour and they say it's a limited colour palette, then obviously I know what colours I'm going to be using. Sometimes that's more helpful because you're then not stuck on colour ideas. Everybody else has to keep it the same. Yeah, and then sometimes it gets a page done faster as well, especially if you've only got 4 or 5 colours that you can use on a page. But yeah, generally I will do it as I go along. If you've got any other suggestions or any other people do it differently than that, I am open to ideas. The list that I write is very, very is very good. To be honest, I like a list. When I do my housework, I write a list sometimes, and then I'll tick it off. The achievement of ticking it after I've done something is quite a good feeling. I generally have, maybe, I've got one here from, I've done one for my August plan, so I had 7 pages on there in August, and as obviously I did them, I ticked it as I went along, so that was good. And then obviously I've got plans, actually I've got plans up until November, to be honest with you. I've got all my buddy colours sorted for September and October, and some already planned for November. The year goes really fast when you're when you've already got plans for into November. You guys on the colouring community, I didn't know this, do like colouring in July. No, Christmas in July, sorry. Yeah, I didn't get on that bandwagon, to be honest. Not that I've got anything against it, just that I didn't fancy doing any in July. Also, I'm learning all what the months mean. So mermaids, which I don't have a lot of mermaids, and again, it's not something that unfortunately I would seek out either. Space September. The only space page that I have actually is in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. It's the planets page, which I've already done. I did it in I think June or July this year, unfortunately, so I can't do that one for Space September. Maybe next year I'll do more of the months, you know, the actual months as we go along. Obviously I'm still learning them, so then we've got moving on to cognac. Can you see that? Cognac. I'm not sure if they've, you know, some of these spellings are correct on some of these pencils. I have actually got a second set of these pencils. I saw they were low on stock, so before they went out I nabbed one, and thank God I did, because when I look on Amazon now I can't find them, unfortunately. Not the ones in the black tin anyway. They still do Brickfunas, but I'm not sure if they do these specific ones, and I really like these colours and how they feel on the paper as well. I think they go down better on toothier paper, so more paper with a texture than smoother paper. I think smoother paper will be better for harder pencils, because Brickfunas aren't a hard lead. So with this I'm just going over the top of the koi just to sort of make it darker. So I've got a bit out of the lines here. Let me just get my eraser. So I've got this Mono Zero Tombow eraser, which is just a little eraser, and then you can just make it longer by tapping on the end. This gets into the small little areas. Here and here. I normally wear contact lenses during the day, but I found that with some of the smaller illustrations, especially with Johanna Basford's illustrations, I can't wear my contact lenses because I don't know if it's my age, but I can't see the small details. So when I need the small details, I just take off my glasses. So during the week I wear my glasses when I'm colouring, and then the small details I just take them off. I'm sure it's my age. I think I might need varifocals soon. No, I don't. Time goes so fast. When you're tiny, when you're little, all you're waiting for is every year to go past so that Santa Claus can come, right? Oh, done it again. And then obviously he comes, it goes so quick, the day goes quick, then you've got to wait another year. Do you know what? Time goes so fast when you get older. You don't believe your parents when they tell you, you know, don't wish time away. It's true. As you get older, you don't want the time to go. But what do you know when you're about 7 years old? Yeah. Blimey. So, where does everyone live? What's the weather like where you are? Any other questions you've got for me, just leave a comment and ask. If you'd like me to sort of carry on doing the colour and chat, then I'll have to think of some more things to talk about, but I'm sure that that won't be a problem, because if any of you that do know me that are watching, it's hard to keep me quiet for too long. I'm always talking, or I think I even talk in my sleep, to be honest with you. I think my partner says I talk in my sleep. So that's... So yeah, like I said, I just thought I'd come on, have a little chat with you. I know that Kate, from Kate's Colouring Haven, I think it's called. I'll leave the link anyway. She does chats and colour alongs, and I left a comment on her saying that, oh, I'm not brave enough to do it, and she said you'll get there. And I just thought, you know what, I'll put a video out, see how it goes. If it gets, if it gets a lot of views, then I'll continue. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. The main thing is that while I'm having this cup of tea and chatting to you, I'm also doing my favourite thing as well. I've got some plans for my videos later on in the year, because I'll have done my YouTube channel for a bit longer, and I'd hopefully have built up more of a collection. I plan to do sort of my favourite books of 2024. I am also excited to do my first an Amazon Japan order, and I didn't actually know that you needed like another account to do a Japan order. I heard, I don't know who said about it on YouTube. I can't remember. But you need another account, so you can't use your Prime or anything. And the shipping is quite a bit. But obviously, if you do a few books in one go, then maybe the shipping will counteract out the cost of the cost. Because I found that actual Japanese adult colouring books aren't too expensive. Like, I think they're about £7 or £8 for the ones that I've chosen. I mean, some Rita Berman books are like £10 anyway in themselves. So, and Johanna Basford are what, maybe £10 to £15. So £7 for a book's not bad. So obviously, maybe the shipping will then put the price of the books up. So generally, it wouldn't be much more expensive than what it would be if you were going to buy it in from England. I don't know how long the shipping takes, maybe a couple of weeks. To be honest, I haven't looked into it. I've literally just shoved a load of stuff into my basket and gone, oh, okay, then I'll order it when I next get paid. I will have an Amazon Japan haul video at some point. I don't know when, but at some point it will be up. I'm looking forward to that. My Amazon basket, or my wish list, is getting longer and longer and longer. But money doesn't grow on trees, unfortunately, so I have to be patient. And as you are well aware, that in this community, collecting the colouring books becomes a hobby. And we have far too many books, over how many we can actually colour in, probably in our lifetimes. But, you know, it's not just about colouring, it's about looking at the artwork. So we do appreciate these artists, illustrators should I say, that do this lovely artwork for us to colour. And it's nice to see everyone's sort of interpretation of it every month on YouTube when they finish their pages or when they post them on Instagram. A new Johanna Basford's book's coming out, Magical World. I got the new Enchanted Creatures by Lalita Iyer. That's I did a flip through of that on my channel. That was the latest book I've got, I believe. I think there's a Kanoko Egusa one coming out next year, which I found out a couple of days ago. Yeah, so it's just really all the new, keeping up with all the new releases as well. Blimey. I mean, I don't have to get all of the new releases, and I probably won't. And I've just sort of started my. This is the first book from Kanoko Egusa, but I do want the other two that she's got out at the moment. Symphony of Animals, and I think it's Kingdom of. What's this one? This one is Garden of Fairytale Animals. I think it's like Kingdom of Creatures or Creatures of the Kingdom. So that's another one that I like. So yeah, those two definitely for sure. And I think she's also got some postcard pictures of Symphony of Animals as well. So they're all in my Japan Amazon basket. What is your favourite illustrator to colour? Obviously, I've talked a lot about Kanoko Egusa, Johanna Basford. I've mentioned Rita Berman. They're probably my three go-tos, to be honest. Johanna Basford is where I started. I think a lot of you can agree that her artwork is stunning. I think my favourite book of hers would be World of Flowers or Small Victories. I really liked Small Victories, and I tend to do a page in there a month. At least one page a month. Kanoko Egusa is up there. Oh, I've missed out as well. To be honest, there's so many, can't really pick. There's Maria Troll as well. There's also Morgan O'Brien with Matchstick Mouse and the Annie Day books now. Yeah, now I'm going to go on to the Scarlet Sage. And this, I'm going to put this around the edges sort of just to give it that reddy tinge on these. I'm always up for taking, you know, any questions, any tips on how I can improve. If there's any questions on anything, any other videos that you would like me to do, sort of leave me a comment. I don't know if I'll get onto the vine leaves on these. I'm going to take this post-it note off because I'm getting lines on my work. I'll put it back on after. I didn't realise. So this is just to sort of give it that reddy tingy colour around the outside. I'll show you in a minute if you can't see already because I've probably have my hand in the way. It's finally stopped raining here, but I don't know if there's going to be any more rain. There's been a bit of thunder and lightning actually. Why is it that all the British people, we always just chat about the weather? I don't know why. You know, I don't know what you talk about in other countries, whether that is normal, but in England we just chat about the weather. We're good at queuing as well in England. Waiting in the line and chatting about the weather. That's what we seem to do over here. Right, let me show you what I mean. Oh, by the ready tinge. Can you see? Just round the edges, I've sort of just given it just on some of those. I'm looking forward to doing the owl and the pumpkins. I can do these, some of these will be like green, orange. I'm looking forward to doing all the woodwork. The pavement of this sort of goes up to here, and then you've got this that sits on, I think, like in the middle of the air, and then the bench that sits on like the middle of the air. Gonna have to make it like grass, I think, all the way up there, so it doesn't look like it's just flying in midair. But it's like you can see, I haven't done a lot today, and it's just a slow process. I mean, obviously, if I wasn't probably talking to you, I probably would just get my head down and do a bit more. So when I'm usually colouring, I tend to listen to music, just whack like Spotify or Amazon Music on, something quite easy to listen to, sorry. I do like a podcast. When I'm here, I like there to be noise in the background, and I'm not talking about my cat meowing at me for food. But I think a lot of people do listen to music or have the TV on in the background. Something that you don't need to concentrate on the TV, I should imagine. Well, for me anyway. I can't sit and colour on like the sofa. I like to have sort of my pencils and other things laid out, and I just don't think there's enough space on the sofa just for me. Personally, I have tried colouring on the floor, but that hurts my back. So I made space cause I don't have like a colouring corner or a room for colouring, unfortunately. I'd love to, and maybe I will one day, but I literally have just like taken over our dining room table. You know, when you get to sort of finishing up a page and I get to the stage where I'm like, okay, I want this done now, I want to move on to the next one, I kind of have to like leave it alone and say, right, it's done. And then once I've ticked it off my list, that's it, I finished. Otherwise sometimes you can spend hours thinking, well, you're never gonna get a page done. I think I'm gonna call it there. I didn't get around to doing the vine leaves. If I haven't done them already before the next video, if there is a next video, then I might do them with you. Then, like I said, if you've got any questions, any tips, anything you want to know, or if you enjoyed it, then just let me know, because then I can record another one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Bye bye.